Love, let us be true to one another, for the world which seems to lie before us like a land of dreams, so various, so beautiful, so new, hath really neither joy nor love, no light, nor sort, no certitude, nor peace, nor help for a pain. And we are here as on a darkland plain, swept with confused alarms of struggle and flight, where ignorant armies clash by night. Life is not a having and a getting, but a being and becoming. Come to me in my dreams, and then by day I shall be well again. For so the night will more than pay the hopeless longings of the day. But often in this world's most crowded streets, but often in the din of strife, there rises an unspeakable desire after the knowledge of our buried life, a thirst to spend our fire and restless force in tracking out our true original course, a longing to inquire into the mystery of this heart, which beats so wild, so deep in us, to know whence our love, our lives come and where they go. We are here on earth to do good to others, but the others are here for I do not know. Journalism is literature in a hurry. The free thinking of one age is the common sense of the next. If there ever comes a time when the women of the world come together purely and simply for the benefit of mankind, I will be a force such as the world has never known, weary of myself and sick of asking, what am I, what I am, and what I ought to be? At this vessel's prow I stand which bears the May, forwards o'er the starlit sea. It is so small a thing to have enjoyed the sun, to have lived light in the spring, to have loved, to have thought, to have done, to have advanced true friends, and be down baffling foes, that we must feign a bliss of doubtful future date, and while we dream of this, lose all our present state, and relegate to worlds yet distant or our repose, and we forget because we must, and not because we will, art still has truth, take refuge there, wandering between two worlds, one dead, the other powerless to be born, with nowhere yet to rest my head, like these on earth I wait forlorn. A truth sits upon the lips of dying men. The sea is calm tonight, the tide is full, the moon lies fair upon the straits on the French coast. The light gleams and is gone. The cliffs of England stand, glimmering and vast, out in the tranquil bay. Resolve to be of thyself, and know that he who finds himself loses his misery, wandering between two worlds, one dead, the other powerless to be born. Is it too a small a thing to have enjoyed the sun, to have lived a light in the spring, to have loved, to have thought, to have done, to have advanced true friends, and be down baffling foes, to see the object as in itself as a reality is. The sea of faith was once too at the full, and round earth's shore lay like the folds of a bright girdle, furled, but now I only hear its melancholy alone, withdrawn roar, retreating to the breath of the night wind, down the vast edges drear and naked shingles of the world. Culture is the endeavor to know the best and to make this knowledge prevail for the good of all mankind. Choose equality only, but this is rare when a beloved hand is laid in ours, when jaded with the rush and glare of the interminable hours, our eyes can in another's eyes read clear, when our world deafened ear is by the tones of a loved voice caressed. A bolt is shot back somewhere in our breast, and a lost pulse of feeling stirs again. The eye sinks forward, inward, and the heart lies plain. And what we mean, we say, and what we would, we know. A man becomes aware of his life's flow and hears its winding murmur, and he sees the meadows where it glides, the sun, the breeze. To have a sense of creative activity is the great happiness and the great proof of being alive. and we forget because we must, and we are here as on a darkland, a plain swept with confused alarms of struggle and flight, where ignorant armies clash by night. Alas, is even love too weak to unlock the heart or let it speak? Are even lovers powerless to reveal to one another what indeed they feel? And each a day brings us pretty dust, one soon choked souls to fill, and we forget because we must, and not because we will. Culture of acquainting ourselves with the best that has been known and said in the world, and thus with the history of the human spirit up to still, glistening beaches, up the creeks, we will hire our banks over the banks of bright seaweed the ebb tide leaves dry. We will gaze from the sand hills at the way asleep in town, at the church on the hillside, and then come back down, singing, there dwells a loved one, but cruel is she left lonely forever, the kings of the sea. For rigorous teachers seized my youth and purged its faith and trimmed its fire. Showed me the high, a white star of truth. There bade me gaze and there aspire. Even now their whispers pierce the gloom. What doust a vow in his living tomb? The whole scope of the ease of the essay is to recommend culture as the great help, but out of our present difficulties, culture being a pursuit of our total perfection by means of getting to know on all the matters which most concern us the best, which has been thought and said in the world, and though through this knowledge turning a stream of fresh and free thought upon our stock, notions and habits which we now follow staunchly and mechanically, vainly imagining that there is a virtue in following them staunchly, which makes up for the mischief of following them mechanically. This alone is the scope of the following essay. The strongest part of religion today is the unconscious poetry. The sterner self of the populace likes a ballin', hustling, and smashing with light yourself beer, and you, ye stars who slowly begin to marshal as of old the fields of heaven, your distant melancholy lines. Have you too survived yourselves? Are you too what I fear to become? You too once lived, you too moved joyfully amongst august companions in an older world, peopled by gods and mightier order, the radiant, rejoicing, intelligent sons of heaven. But now ye kindle your lonely, cold, shining lights on willing lingerers in the heavenly wilderness for our younger and ignoble world, and renew by necessity, night after night, your courses, and echoing unneared silence above a race you know not, uncaring and undelighted, without friend and without home, weary like us, though not weary with our weariness. I am convinced I am Mathew Arnold forever, stops rapping and never, and keeps rapping forever and ever.